Good morning. It is 8:45 on October 25th. We're back at Allegany State Park to hike a bunch more trails. We're going to do 4 trails today. It's going to be Bear Caves and then 3 Sisters. Then we're going to do Mount Tuscarora. Then we're going to do the Flagg trail. And I've been dropped off so I don't have to worry about getting from one end of the Quaker Run area back to the other. It rained last night, so the trails are a little wet. Hike should take anywhere from 5 to 7 hours, and hopefully it doesn't rain because it looks like it might. Just starting out on the Bear Caves trail, it was logged between 1860 and 1920, and it was named before the Allegany State Park was established. It was named Bear Caves because people that were logging it found a bunch of caves in the rock formations, and going with the myth that bears live in caves and they saw bears in the area, that's what they started to call it. So we're not even a quarter mile in. I've already found our first of the caves. There's a lot of these real big boulders. There's that one. There's this one over here. There's a couple up ahead of me. But according to the map, the actual rock formation known as the Bear Caves isn't overly far in, so I think we're going to be coming up on it pretty soon. But I think the real trail is off to the left of where I am, so we're going to take that trail and see what we can see. Here's another big rock. We're up on top of the rock formations, and there's this cave right here. As I walk around here, I've been looking for the number 2 marker, and I'm really hoping it's not here because there's just so much to look at that's not the trees. I'm kind of hoping they didn't place it here and it's easy to miss. But I mean, if it is, it's not that far off the road, so I could just boogie back and look for it again at a later date. Let's keep looking around. Just about to climb Mount Seneca, and I think it's pretty interesting that the mountains down here, or mountains if you're one of the high peaks or nothing people, they're all named after Iroquois tribes, which is pretty cool. I'm just about at the top of Mount Seneca, and it's been real steep, as evident by my sweat and breath. But I still haven't seen that yellow marker, so I keep my eyes peeled for it. This is a great view. I sort of broke trail a little, and the trail's 30 feet that way. There's a little social path up here, but I'm at the highest point on Mount Seneca. It's 2,071 feet, so definitely not the highest thing in the park, but gotta go do Mount Tuscarora. We'll see how that one holds up. But yep, tallest point. If it was sunnier, I might be able to actually see something. There it is. I wish it was a little bit clearer of a day, because there's this view that I feel like you won't get in the spring. There's also a hiking blaze right there, but the trail is right here. After not finding that number 12 marker on Ridge Run the other day, I have a little bit of a fear that I'm gonna miss one, because you know, if you're on a 5-mile trail and you're looking for a piece of 3x3 wood with a number routed into it that's just painted yellow, so I think it's kind of a tricky thing to find. But look how steep this trail is now. You go down that way. Kind of glad I came up the bear cave side first, because this part of the trail is considerably steeper, and I still haven't seen anyone. Saw that deer, but the other day my wife and I were looking on Reserve America, trying to find a place to camp down here for the weekend, just like rent a cabin or something, and all the cabins, all of them, were booked for the weekend. So definitely going to be a lot of people here. I wonder if I'll see anybody on Three Sisters or Flagg, because those tend to not go up very far. And if I've learned one thing about the people in the Alleghanies, they don't like climbing stuff. There it is, we're done with the bear caves. I don't know what this 4 miles is, so I'm only at 2.8, and that's with all the wandering around at the caves. So now we're on to Three Sisters. All right, we're at the Three Sisters, let's begin. All right, so this Three Sisters loop, the little packet doesn't really have much information on history and whatnot, other than what the Quaker area used to be called before it was bought by the state in 1921, which was Frex, named after H.C. Frex. He owned a large sawmill located in the present-day Quaker rental office now sits. This trail's a loop, and according to the little sheet, it's easier to hike it counterclockwise than it is to hike it clockwise. So we're gonna go counterclockwise. Also, according to the sheet, this trail is very prone to washouts and wet spots. So there's bridges built to stop erosion. So this trail being named Three Sisters is not in reference to 3 human sisters, but actually in reference to the 3 hills that separate Fox Hollow and Holt Hollow. It also is in reference to the 3 sisters according to the Native Americans, which are squash, beans, and corn, that they would interplant, and the beans and the corn would strengthen each other for growth, and they would shade the squash to trap in moisture, leading to a more plentiful harvest. So I came from this way, blue marker there. Coming up, here's the trail. There's another blue marker. Start going down that way. And I'm looking for the 4. And lo and behold, there it is behind me. I think I would have walked right past it if I wasn't actually looking for it intently. But I knew it had to be up here somewhere. There it is. Right, so we just finished the 3 sisters, and now we're gonna head over to the maintenance area off Coon Run, and that's where Tuscarora starts. All right, so I'm now at the Mount Tuscarora Fire Tower Trail. Here I am. Gotta hike up Mount Tuscarora, cross where we were on the North Country Trail, right here, and then the fire tower, I'm assuming, is right here. If that's also where the marker for trail number 1 is, I'm going to use this very steep shortcut, because I also have to go over here to Flagg hiking trail to end at Cane Hollow. And if I don't have to walk around Quaker Lake, I don't want to. So we did a little bit of Mount Tuscarora when we did the North Country Trail a few weeks ago, but we didn't see the big draw fire tower. This is a point-to-point hike, so ideally you would hike it with a buddy. You'd both park at one end, but I've just been dropped off with a location that I have to end up at, so there's no real way for me to do it efficiently. But it's supposed to be a rather steep hike up to the ridgeline, and once you get up to the ridgeline, it flattens out and it's pretty easy. So I guess we'll get to it. Just made it up the Mount Tuscarora Trail. Now I gotta go that way to get to the fire tower. But when that sheet said steep, man, they weren't joking. I feel like I went up like 200 feet in a quarter mile, which, you know, it ain't crazy, but I am quite sweaty. I don't think I'm overdressed for my hike with my Bivy down vest, just a hoodie and a t-shirt, but boy, when I get going up, I get super sweaty. So now I just got to be on the lookout for that wood number 1 and be on my happy way. A couple weeks ago when we were doing the North Country Trail, trying to keep track of those white ones, especially with all the down trees up at the top of some of the summits, like you would come across something like this, have to like look through it and see if you could find the white one. And at one point we straight up lost the trail. We had to go through one of them trees that was down, and we couldn't find the trail, and luckily We luckily the North Country Trail is on that hiking project app, and we were able to use the GPS to just pick it right back up. But it went through, you know, it was going in that straight line, and that tree fell over it, and it fell over it right where it like does a couple funky turns. So on one side of the tree there was a trail, and on the other side there wasn't a trail because it fell right where it would have turned off 90 degrees. I think some of these trees are pretty freshly cut. I think we were climbing over them a couple weeks ago, so that's cool. I did put on the on that trail survey they have that there was a lot of trees down at the summit that you constantly had to climb over, so maybe somebody came up here and took care of them. We are at the North Country Trail, Mount Tuscarora Junction, and this time we get to go west instead of east. Go up toward the towards the fire tower. Just saw a group of 6 people. That means I've seen 8 people total, and all of them have been on the Mount Tuscarora Trail. It's also about 1:30 in the afternoon. So I guess this is now the time when people would be hiking as opposed to 9 o'clock in the morning. So let's go to that fire tower.
I got so many places I could go, but I'm not going to do it. Come on. Come on.
So I'm at the fire tower. You can kind of see it. There's a lot of people that way, and I didn't want to bother them by being annoying. Fire tower was built in 1928 when the park was still using fire towers, and then in the 70s it was decommissioned because they could use aerial photography for that. Also, a lot of the trees around it are too tall. So now we're gonna begin our hike down. I can't find the super steep trail, so I'm gonna hike down and come out at the other end of Quaker Lake. Hopefully I can see Quaker Lake from up here because I can see it a little bit through the trees, but if I can see it in a wider shot, I'll try to get a video of it or something. Still kind of hard to see. But look at that. You can see that lake. That's nice. And of course, I'm going to have to walk all the way around it to get to the next trail. Alright, so I just finished Tuscarora. It's that. There's all these cars lined up on the road. And now I gotta walk all the way around Quaker Lake. See if I can get down to the lake to show where my next hike is. To start my next hike, I need to get all the way over to the Quaker Lake Beach House. And I gotta walk that road right there, all the way around the lake, just to get over there. And that's a point to point, so I gotta walk to the end because I need to finish at the end closer to where I'll pass first. So I'm walking down the road and I see this little patch of water, which I just filmed at. And then lo and behold, my wife is parked right there. So I'm catching a ride to the final trail.
Just wanted to check in on you.
Because I was supposed to only take 5 hours and I'm already at 6. So
there's no cell service, so I got a little worried.
And there's no cell phone service, so she got a little worried. And I appreciate it. I've been ripping fat water drags. So now I'm headed to the final trail. It's Flagg Trail.
like see all these people on the road.
And there's a ton of people on the road. Weird.
Yeah.
Man, what luck that she was just parked there, wondering where I was when I was dilly-dallying. So we're at Flagg. Here it is. It's gonna end up being an out, and then I'm gonna walk the road. Doesn't look like it's anything too crazy, but for having no cell phone service and me just popping out of the brush and her being right there, that was super convenient. Real nice. It really cut down on my walking time. I'll probably be done by 5 o'clock or so now. I gotta figure out which one of these paths is the trail. It's kind of funny. I'm at the right where it starts to actually become a trail. And it says, the trail is relatively flat, but notoriously wet towards the center. And the first little bit is an uphill. So, that's a lie. Well into the Flagg area, Flagg Trail. And it does flatten out once you get up that little plateau. So let's talk about the Flagg Trail. It runs from the Cane Hollow campgrounds to the Quaker bathhouse. It's muddy, which I can attest to. This trail is known for its impressive chestnut oak trees, not found on most other trails. The Flagg Trail is named after Allegany Flagg, who in 1835 encouraged people to settle in the Quaker Run area from Holt Run to Cane Hollow. He owned 3,000 acres of land, much of which was located on the current site of Quaker Lake. A man named David H. Miller realized the land around Freck's area, the settlement we talked about earlier at Quaker Run, had a high timber value. He and his business partner, J.B. Wright, constructed the Tenusa and Bradford Railroad in 1905. And they would cut only into the pines, and much of the hemlocks and hardwoods remained. So this is the last trail of the day. And man, remember how earlier I was saying that I wasn't seeing anybody on the trails? But once I got on Tuscarora, I saw everybody going down the road. When my wife picked me up, she was saying that Three Sisters was packed because she went there just to see what was going on, and then she said Bear Caves was also packed. So I think I hit the right time to start, because otherwise I'd be hiking with everybody. But there was only one truck at this trailhead, so maybe I'll see a couple people, but hopefully not many. There's a lot of people that I try to let walk by me walk so slow. So let's look for that number 5 or 6. I don't know what trail we're on. 16. Looking for number 16. I found it. There it is. I know I'm supposed to finish the whole trail, but it's an out and back, so I think I'm just gonna walk back. Maybe I'm cheating, but my socks got wet real early in the morning. currently at 12 miles, even with that car ride, which is, I turned my GPS off for, so it didn't track it. So I've actually hiked 12 miles. So I'm just gonna head back, and that way I can relax and maybe take a nap before dinner. Call it cheating if you want, but I think I've hiked enough for the day. So we're back at the trailhead, back where we started for Flagg. So that's gonna be it for this video. I finished all of the Quaker Run area. I got 3 more on Art Roscoe, and then I got 4 to do in Red House, and that'll be it. So catch you next time. In 28.